Bush. Number 3, the war will pay for itself gate. Remember that lie? Once the oil revenues were restored to the Iraqi people, they could take over all rebuilding expenses and even reimburse us some of ours. The GAO reports that the energy crisis has been so good for Iraq that the new government there will have a budget surplus by the end of this year of about $79 billion. So they're rebuilding their own country with it? Iraq has spent a little under $4 billion since 2005 on rebuilding Iraq. We've spent at least $23 billion. Iraq's oil money is sitting in the Federal Reserve Bank of New York rebuilding interest. Number 2, listening to the generals on the ground gate. Pentagon spokesman Jeff Morrell dismissed the contention by a politician and a military figure that the situation in Afghanistan is, quote, precarious and urgent. Morrell said, I would take issue with that characterization that there's anything desperate about the situation in Afghanistan, anything urgent or precarious about the situation in Afghanistan. This brings him into conflict with Senator Obama, who said there is, and also with that military leader who was asked if he agrees with Obama that the situation in Afghanistan is precarious and urgent. The military leader said, I think it is. It is urgent. It is one where the violence is growing. The military leader, of course, is the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mike Mullen, and Lord knows you would not want the press flack at the Pentagon agreeing with the chairman of the Joint Chiefs agreeing with Obama. And number 1, Legacy Gate. As the struggle goes on to build the Bush Presidential Library, this reminder of the true legacy of the 43rd President of the United States. Take a look at the calendar. August 6th. Does that date ring a bell? 7 August 6ths ago, Mr. Bush was on his month-long vacation at Crawford, Texas, when he was given a report which he either did not read, did not understand, or did not believe. Its first paragraph mentioned his followers would follow the example of the World Trade Center bomber about bring the fighting to America. Its second paragraph referred to the individual profiled in the report as wanting, quote, to retaliate in Washington. Its 10th paragraph detailed sensational but uncorroborated threat reporting, including that the individual wanted to hijack a U.S. aircraft. Its 11th notes patterns of suspicious activity in this country, consistent with preparations for hijackings or other types of attacks, including recent surveillance of federal buildings in New York. And its 12th and final paragraph mentions a call to our embassy in the UAE in May, saying that a group of bin Laden supporters was in the U.S. planning attacks with explosives. The president's daily briefing 7 years ago today, August 6, 2001, entitled, Bin Laden Determined to Strike in U.S., mentions bringing the fighting to America, retaliating in Washington, wanting to hijack a U.S. aircraft, preparations for hijackings, surveillance done in New York, groups of supporters in the U.S. planning attacks. All the information you could have wanted, all of it in George Bush's hands 7 years ago today, with 36 days left to interrupt or alter 9/11. So when you rhetorically ask, as Mr. Posner did in his exceptional book, Why America Slept, the answer is actually a correction. America did not sleep. George Bush slept.